You've never seen a Squarespace website like this before. We finally just finished the by Crawford site, and this has been such a labor of love over the past 8 months or so. And I wanted to make a video going through all the stuff that we've done. So like why I've done what I've done and how we've actually accomplished this. So it's been a huge, huge team effort between me, the designers, the developers, and what we've brought to market, I think, is one of the most unique and impressive Squarespace websites ever. So, what makes this website so good and so different? Well, I'm going to take you through some of my favorite pages. Start with the home page, and maybe I'll jump into one of each drop down and the contact, etc. And I'll highlight just places where I really wanted to optimize and just take to that next level. I'm going to avoid saying elevate because there's enough AI copy on this site. Anyway, if we look up here, there's lots of key things that I've honed over the years, and a lot's being copied. I teach people to do this, so that's fine. But initially, we have the availability banner. So you want to remove all semblance of friction from somebody coming onto the site and then somebody submitting a query. That could be an inquiry through the form or scheduling a call or going through your email. So just make it the least amount of awkward as possible for them to get in touch. This is why on Instagram, when you see people in their bio, they'll say, DM me the word, whatever that word is, to get started. That's what I do. If people want to join Six Figure Design Club, I say, DM me the word club to get started. Make it really easy for someone to realize you are available for work. So this is something that I've had for a while on my current site, but I've made it much sleeker here. There's also a small part in here where we have start a project. So, we had thousands and thousands of visits to the contact page every single month. And the inbounds were maybe like 20 to 30 form submissions per month. That is not good enough ratio-wise for the amount of people who come onto a contact page. So what I've done on here and what I've done on the contact page as well, I'll skip to that now, is this starter project. Not CTA, but what would we call this? Sort of reminder or prompt to the client or the potential client to say, this is what this form does. You will be starting a project. So there's all these, small aggregational gains. We've got the starter project symbol. We've got the availability. We've got up here on every single page this announcement, with that green dot. It draws the eye. Are you looking for a new Squarespace website? Get in touch now. Where does that take us? It takes us to the contact page. Then we've got the form, so make it as easy again as possible. I don't try and vet people with like budgets or where they're from or whatever. I just say, what's your name? What's your email? What's the subject? And what do you want to say to me? So again, just make it really simple. Then this is just for SEO purposes. It's not necessarily the strongest copy, but it does say, 450 custom websites. It mentions that I'm an award-winning Squarespace website designer, and the rest is just purely optimized for SEO. Now, we've also got this. No one else is doing this, so I think I may have said this in another video, but my assumption is you will see this crop up on so many Squarespace sites now, is the laurels. I mean, I know this is popular in Webflow. I've seen it a lot in Webflow, so I'm not claiming to have done this, originally. But, you're going to see a lot of this now is the laurels. So, reason behind this is I don't like Squarespace's, what's it called? I don't like Squarespace's, whatever the icons are, the badges. So they give pros badges that say Squarespace Marketplace Expert, Squarespace Platinum, Circle Partner, I think they ruin the look of your site. So I have my designer a mock-up, these new nice laurels that don't feature the year, so we don't have to update them constantly. We did actually have the year initially, but we changed it out to make it more manageable long term. So if you look in this hero section, so much information is available right now. If a visitor comes onto the site, they don't even have to scroll. They can just look at this and go, okay, it's by Crawford. Am I looking for a new Squarespace site? Available. This is who it is, what he does. I can schedule a call, and that will go to the booking page. I can get in touch. That will go to the contact page. Or if I don't want to do any of that, I can start a project from this section. I've got a conversion rate optimization audit. I had this done on the site a while ago, and he picked up on like tons of stuff. But then I thought, let's try this form. This has been a game changer. So again, I assume that we'll probably see this on a lot of sites as well, but it just works. It works, and I hold zero grudges for people, taking inspiration. I wouldn't be making this video otherwise. So that's the hero section. Then we've got a video here. So a VSL, video sales letter to clients to say, hey, this is me. But you can see this is when I had a buzz cut. So I need to change that, because you go from me with my nice hair to me who looks like he's had all his hair pulled out. So that needs to change, but essentially it's good for SEO, and it tells the client, this is who I am. I'm a real person. I'm an expert. Hire me, basically. Then we've got a client carousel. So super important. If we just go through these 3 sections here, we've got tons of social proof. So, award-winning. We've got, these are all my credentials. Then we've got all of these cool clients. Then here's a picture of me speaking on stage, and you can see, stats call out. It's all social proof. So as a designer, this social proof is, it's just exceptionally useful to get people through the door and to submit an inquiry. I want to present by Crawford, the company, as the best in the world, and this is my attempt at doing so. Positioning me as the expert, having all the content done, but also if you look, the styling, it doesn't look like anything you've probably seen built on Squarespace. We have tens of thousands of lines of custom CSS, JavaScript, HTML, and I'll break down a couple of the sections in a moment where we've used a fair amount of code to do it. So these are like quite basic things. We've got image, text, shape block, text. This is just a bit of CSS. These are 2 galleries, so 2 gallery blocks with CSS applied to make one go one way, one go the other. Then we have this. So on my old site, this was a little bit further up, so I think it's sat here. So maybe we'll look into possibly, playing around with some configurations of the page, but for now I think this really works. So we have the title, the category, and this will send us into a portfolio page, but users can just scroll through some of our best work. I've uploaded tons more of our portfolio, because on the old By Crawford site, the portfolio hadn't been updated for so long, so it had such dated case studies on. And now they really are case studies. So if I go into Elmington, for instance, you can see we have like the hero section call out. We go down, category, who they are, a bit more about the project, duration, sector, etc. And then we got these really cool Figma mock-ups. So as I say, I'm going to break down how we did it all. I'll come back to that in a moment. Text, this is a code block actually, with styling for a button and this. So it all comes down to social proof. Like, this was something I've seen on other sites, and it's just a really convincing little graphic to show like headshots, how many people liked working with me, my team, right next to a schedule a call button. Then what I'm allowing people to do is scroll the live site. So we're just showing off, again, this is stuff that just isn't being built on Squarespace. Like, completely custom slider, all of these cool Figma things that we've done here. And then this is like you hover over it and it changes the text. Hover and changes the text. It's so cool. Then we go down, how we did it. So this is a list section with Figma mockups. This is a summary block, but again, showing our recent works, keeping people in the ecosystem. If they're ready to then convert, start your project. We have a section here, you know, this is your dream site, schedule your call, this many people trusted Sam. Right next to it, we have the form to submit. And then, you know, people can just go through the pages like this. So I'll use this one as an example. This is from the Figma file where we designed the site first. So just took a screenshot and put that in there. I have like a AI ChatGPT bot, I guess, that helps me write the copy. So we put that in. I put in, you know, all of the deliverables, who the client is, what we did, and it spits out just a nice portfolio breakdown. Then we have Figma templates. So because we've done so many Figma mockups for the portfolio, we can just drag and drop the screenshots into these mockups here and then change the color, upload that. These are both just images, text, the code block. This is an image with a frame, CSS frame around it, and then obviously the CSS to make it scroll. List section with CSS applied, and then again we've got the summary block, and we've got I think this is just like I want to say an image block, text, form. And what we've then done is injected this section, and this section into the portfolio. So the portfolio uses a blog collection, which doesn't allow you to make sections. So at the bottom of each, because it's the same throughout, we've just appended sections from another place on the site into here, which is really smart. And I can say that because it wasn't me, it was the team. So I'm not being braggadocious. Well, I guess this whole video is bragging, so I can't really say anything there, can I? Anyway, this is all summary block. Then this, as I said, is a list section. We've got, I mean, there's so much CSS that goes into moving things about, because we have, you know, usually this would be an image, and then, you know, this would be an image, but list sections only allow for one image. And so there's so much work that has to go into making sure we can get an icon in, append it to the left, making sure we can get the numbers in, making sure, I mean, even down to the gradient on the text, and it changes on hover, you know, it's instant. So many things that have to all fall into place for this to happen. Now we've got the testimonial slider. So this is a list section as well, and you can see that it changes on hover, and we can add as many as we want in here. That siphons off to the review page, which shows all the reviews. Again, this is a list section. I had the team grab everything. I don't think they're quite finished, but these are basically like all the reviews that I've been picking up since I started. And you can see it's quite a wall of evidence. And they were like, Sam, why do you want to do this? And I said, well, because it just gives a wall of overwhelming evidence to a client that, okay, if he has this many 5-star reviews, you know, surely he's doing something right. So that's my thinking. I like to give people as much concrete proof as possible that I am the right guy for the job. And nowadays my team are the right team for the job. And every time there is some form of social proof, right next to it or right underneath it is a book a call to action, which is here. So proof, book a call. Proof, book a call. And then obviously you can get in touch here as well. Also, another tip is multiple forms. So you can see here, we've got the form, schedule a call, get in touch, give people as many chances as possible to get in touch with you. And then we go down. And then we've got, like, these are my favorite part of the site. So there's a couple of sections like this, which is a bento box layout. So you can see we've had these really neat mock-ups done. And then we've got the icons. And I've had a few people ask how I've done these. All this is this background is a shape block. So it's a shape block with some code to apply this subtle gradient outline. Then this is just an image, text, and then another image in here. That's it. And then we've obviously had to stack them throughout. So you can build this pretty much without code. You would just need code to do the outline, and there's like a slight gradient to that background. But other than that, it is possible. If you have some cool Figma mockups that you or your team could do, then you can make this. Then we get the pricing. So if you ever wondering about our pricing and structure, this is it. So 3.5k for a basic site, 3.5k to around 7k, 7.5k to around 18k for a tier 2, which is this, and then enterprise is like 18k plus. It could go up to like 50k depending on what's needed. As an FYI, if I was to build this site, I would probably charge a client like 60, 70k, because it is exceptionally complex. It took us like 8 months to build, to think up, to brand, to design, and then to develop it. It's just been crazy. The developers have been so good in that they've just, I have paid them well, obviously, but they've gone above and beyond to deliver this. It's crazy, because I'm the guy who has the most ridiculous visions for things and then has to rein it in, and bringing this to life and launching it has been honestly one of my proudest moments. So this is like pricing. Again, I would assume we'll see some of this as well cropping up, but we're trying it to see if it helps. Integration, this is just text, image, and this is a Figma mockup. You'll notice a bit of a pattern, which is Figma has been our best friend for this. So my designer Robin, he has his own team. It's a husband and wife team, and then I think they have like a team of 8 underneath, so it's like a micro team within by Crawford, which is cool. But they have been just unbelievable in creating all the mock-ups, the assets, the color palettes, all of these, the new logo, the new brand, everything. Figma and Robin have been like one of the driving forces. Like, everything, there's a mock-up. Everything has been designed down to a T. But this is just, again, it's a list section. And then, again, shape block, text, image, button. All this goes to show, if you know what you're doing with the basic blocks of Squarespace, all you need to do is add some, mostly just styling code, and you can create something exceptional. And this is what I'm trying to get across, is you have clients at the highest level, and this is the client that we specifically want to work with. So we already work with huge clients, but I was closing these huge clients with quite a dated website. Bringing this to market is my main objective. Well, and now it's being completed, but it's going to be the main driving force in closing and showcasing to the biggest clients in the world, this is what you can do with Squarespace. So many people think, oh, Squarespace is just for like a mom and pop business, like if you are, a fishmonger or a hairdresser or whatever. And not to say those aren't like great businesses, but they don't tend to scale to multi-millions and billions. People who are doing 7, 8, 9 figures, 10 figures even, they don't view Squarespace as the solution. They at best will probably view it as a stopgap. But that's what I'm trying to change. And I've already been doing this, but Squarespace has so much potential for these businesses at the highest level if the client knows and if they can see evidence, which when they come onto this, they will. This is a list section with some really cool code applied. You can see the way it changes to this, and then on mobile, it stays in this state, which is nice. And then we've got another form to get in touch. It's a long old page, but it has to be for SEO and to show off the design work that we do. So this is a summary block, so it's draggable and it's clickable, and this would take you into a blog. And you can see even the blog's custom. So we've got the author page here that goes to an author page, which is not native to Squarespace, but we created. We've got a nice pop-up here to build the newsletter. These are sharing icons. So again, not native to Squarespace, but we've coded these in. We've got a code that will automatically detect the length of the blog and then give it a reading time, which again is exceptionally cool. And then on the side here, it's all about conversion rate optimization. So you see like 3 of my face here, but my thinking is, okay, let me give a really nice table of contents on the left hand side that sticks, and right under that, where we're drawing the eye to, you'll see me and start a project. If you want to hire us based on what you're reading, okay, look, you can come straight to the contact page. Then we've got the guides. This is what I do 3 times a week, is a guide. So I'm creating all this inbound content. We're also filtering off to Six Figure Design Club. This is just an image block with a button and text. So this is the image caption and the image button, which is being coded to look like this. It's so clever. That goes to Six Figure Design Club. And then we come back in, we go through, and then one final CTA that you can see. This is me, social proof, trying to position myself as the expert. Schedule a call. That goes through to the call booking page. And again, it's super fast, integrated, but on the call booking page, there's more social proof. So, it talks about this is why you should book. And this is only for people who, they don't just book straight away. They want to look a little bit more. So we've got the accolades, what to expect on the call, walk the person through the call, why me, more reviews, FAQs, and then into the footer. So anything to try, if all of this increases call bookings by 10%, that for me could equal an extra 200k per year in revenue. The likelihood is it will be way more, but these are the kind of percentages that I'm trying to aim for now, or as a minimum. And then finally, we've just got some wants to stay on the site, we can keep them on here with some related articles. So that's the blog. Let's go down. Where were we? Now we've got an AI section. So the SEO team told me to talk about AI, so we shall see how that works. Just because it seems to be picked up by search engines, which is interesting. FAQs, and then it just all comes down to Figma. Figma plus Squarespace is the biggest cheat code ever when you've got the budget to do so. I teach people in Six Figure Design Club mostly to stay away from Figma because it will eat into your budget, eat into your margins, and when you're a solopreneur earning around that 100k mark per year, those margins you kind of don't need it. But I've done a video yesterday. I should probably be published around the same time as this. I am scaling by Crawford to 7 and multi-7 figures, and at this level it's the special sauce that helps you stand out. So we had this mock-up done. We're trying to get people onto the newsletter via a white paper, authority building, and social proof. So that is one of the longest homepages ever, but I'm fairly confident it's going to work. About page, we've just got images, text, button, accolades, repeating this social proof throughout the site. We've got some count up numbers, and then we are sort of recycling some sections throughout. These are a mainstay in almost all pages, like the 1, 2, 3 steps, plus, here's the work that we do, plus testimonials, and then this is our business address. If you want to come and meet me, well, actually, I don't live there, but business address, business email, business phone, and then people can get in touch or view the map and then start a project. I want to give people the opportunity, no matter what page they land on, to get in touch. That is what I want this site to do, get people to get in touch. So I'll do a service page, custom website designs, what we do. Obviously we do all of this other stuff, but this is our bread and butter. So very similar theme throughout. You can see the branding is now strong, super strong. I never placed an emphasis on branding previously until I started this. I just had a Canva logo. I had a color palette that I just randomly picked, and a font that I just randomly picked in 2019. And I've been running with that until today. Oh, we launched on Friday. Today is Tuesday. So this is a huge, huge change for me, and I'm so excited about it. You can see Figma mockup, letting people schedule a call. We've got that. You can scroll it both ways. The case study slider. We've got our amazing client slider. And then we've got the use of, this one isn't quite a bento box design, but you can see it's quite a neat box design here. And using 3 columns allows me to get a lot more content in as shorter screen real estate as possible. Go down to the pricing. We've got that social proof, the numbers, just building authority. And then again, trying to build up that newsletter. The newsletter is going to be somewhere where I'll be focusing a lot of my efforts probably later this year. So for now, I'm just building. Then I'm going to start sort of hammering that marketing. Once we get to around 1,000 people-ish on the mailing list, then I'll start sending out more conversion-focused emails to them. FAQs, that's on every page, and we are done. So that's home, about services. Portfolio, you can see we've got this really cool filter system here. So anyone who comes on can see immediately, what they want to do. For this, I didn't want to use a drop down. I found the bubble design was really, really nice, or the pill design. It just worked. And if I was a visitor and I come on, I can just quickly scroll through alphabetical. Okay, I'm a medical company. I click on, I can see a medical case study. I can schedule a call. I can see how they did it. I can see other works. I can view, I can get in touch, and I can view some more. And you can see the way, depending on what page we're on, this will change color and this header will change color. All these small things, it's just been such a slog to pick out all the tiny bits and make sure it's perfect. It's probably still not perfect, but it's damn near close. And then, if you just want to see all of the portfolio, like in what industry they are, who the company is, what was done, or an excerpt of what was done, you can just scroll through the whole body of work like this and get a snapshot of the sort of stuff that we do. And again, all of these are Figma mockups that we've done, and it just gives such depth to the page, and it stands out. And I believe this is the edge that does help us stand out in quite a crowded market, is the amount of effort that goes into the smallest things. Like, these thumbnails have been in the works for months. The site has been in the works for almost a year. And now that we've launched, there's not a single site that lets the site down. You're only as good as your worst site. And you can see this is the bottom, and this is still a sick site, and we've got maybe 20 more to add in. So one of the things I want to do is continue to add to that portfolio, as opposed to waiting and then having too many pieces and then never uploading new stuff. Just going to keep pumping stuff until we have like 100. It's like the testimonials page. It's just an undeniable body of proof that we are. I don't want to say we are the best, but we're close. We're definitely close. Like, just some of the work, some of the clients that we work with, it's just the levels are crazy. Resources, so the blog, we've got so much custom stuff. That is a terrible image. But, let's say this one. You can see we've got the category, the title with the code on for the gradient text. We've got the read more button. And if you look, we've got this timer here, completely custom built. This is a summary block. And this is a responsive timer. And when it finishes, it goes to the next. I don't know if I've seen anything like that on Squarespace. Then we've got the search. So if I want to search for newsletter, I'll search for newsletter. And look at that. Look how quick that is. You can see newsletter content. Or you can filter. So here's all the categories that we have. Let's look for analytics. Okay, well, there's our analytics blogs. And you've already seen the inside of the blog, so I won't take you in there. Then we've got Design on Demand, which links out to Wireframe Designers, which is my graphic design company. If you guys want to check that out, go to wireframedesigners.com. FAQs, just a simple accordion. Squarespace web design agency. So eventually we're probably going to pivot into this and have me less as like, you know, the solo guy at the front, because we do have a team. And it is a we, because there's a lot of us. There's 8 of us now, and I only hired a team about 9 months ago, and then began this build, and then we've scaled and we've started delivering some really, really ridiculous projects. I mean, you can check the portfolio, it's nuts. But this is something that I really want to work on, and so for SEO purposes, we created this page. It recycles a lot of what we've used, but it just keeps it consistent. So we've got the nice Figma mockup, laurels, you know, we're available for work, title, text, schedule a call, view portfolio. Then we talk about the portfolio sites, our amazing clients, talk about design for all devices. We've got an SEO optimized video in here. This is the team. There's some AI gen. I don't know. Does that look like me? I don't know. But then yeah, we've got the team listed in here. We've got an amazing team, and then we got the process here. So this is actually 3 separate sections, believe it or not, coded to be one slider, which is just so cool. And then we've got another list section, bento box-ish design, and then get in touch. So we've got another form with start a project. Oh, and then we've got some reviews, which is missing one, which is interesting. I'll have to fix that. See, it's always good to do these videos. And then what else can I show you? Testimonials, we've been through that. Contact and schedule a call. I'll show you the contact page, because this is what is really interesting, in that we were losing so many people because I don't know, it just wasn't quite optimized. So it wasn't very appealing to submit a contact form. Now we have a really nice looking form. It's a lot simpler. We've got the starter project badge on there. We've got more badging to keep the client or keep the visitor within our guardrails. We've got so much. And we've got the social media icons, book a free call. You know, if they just want to hop on a call and not submit a form, they can do that. And then we've got the social proof here and here to sort of funnel the visitor into saying, hey, we are the best, like, hire us. This is what it's saying anyway. Again, not saying it's true, but for the client, you know, that's what we're trying to say. Then reviews, it's just all social proof. You need to make it an absolute no-brainer for someone to get in touch. And this goes for any website. If you are a web designer, any site that you build, it should be chock full of social proof, examples of work and social proof, and make it easy for someone to get in touch or do the thing. Make it as easy as possible for someone to do the thing, whatever the thing is on your site, whether it's book a call, submit a form, email us, follow me on social media, sign up for my newsletter, or all of the above, like we're doing on this site. There is so much to be done. And that is, I would go out on a limb and say, oh, is it on a whim or on a limb? Maybe that's 2 different sayings. I go out on a limb and say, I don't think anyone has built something like this on Squarespace. I've seen some crazy sites, crazier than this, technically, but this sort of site, I think, is going to blow a lot of minds. So I really hope you enjoyed this, and I really hope that it offered some insight into how this sort of thing gets built on Squarespace. Now, if you want me and my team to build your Squarespace website, then get in touch using the links in the description.